All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome into episode 119 of the Full Send Half Mass podcast. Tonight, we'll be running a little solo yo brolo here tonight because it's Dega week. And Tom has some obligations to pick up Donovan, who you've seen on the channel from time to time, at the airport because they are getting ready to head to Dega early in the morning. I fly out early in the morning. So tonight, it's gonna be a little bit shorter of a podcast. I'm by myself. I've got a few things I gotta get ready and everything I gotta do before I wake up extremely early to catch my flight to Talladega. But I do want to talk about some racing with you guys here on a Tuesday, like we do, like clockwork, every week of the year, year round. Never miss a Tuesday. So I definitely want to come on here and talk racing with you guys here tonight. But Dega week, super excited. If you guys are going to be at Dega this week, make sure you guys come and say hi. We're going to be on the infield in the Geico Blue section off of turn 2. Come over, say hi, come have a beer with us, tell us a joke, give us a high five. I don't care. Just whatever. Just come interact with us. We're cool to come hang out for a little bit, come and have a beer, come meet us. It'll be fun. We like interacting with you guys. So definitely the party be in turn 2, Geico Blue section. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I'm so excited. I've just about finished packing, just about got everything put together. There's a few little things I gotta get done here before I catch some sleep tonight. But it's time we talk about some racing this weekend. Man, we had some interesting racing. So I can't wait to get into that. We had NASCAR returning to Rockingham this weekend with the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series doubleheader there this weekend. I got a lot of talking points on that. I think that was an awesome weekend, successful weekend. I'll talk about all the ins and outs of that weekend with you guys here tonight. Also, want to talk about the Formula One Grand Prix at Saudi Arabia at Jeddah, which was another mid F1 race, but still a pretty decent race. We have a new world championship leader. I can't wait to talk about that with you guys here tonight. A little bit of controversy as well. And then I've got I got to get on my soapbox here in a little bit in regards to the World Endurance Championship race at Imola. I was unable to watch it. I'll break down exactly what happened and why I wasn't able to watch it. I've got a little bit of a rant planned for you guys here later in the podcast, so I hope you guys stay tuned for that part of the podcast. We'll also tonight be doing our driver and bonehead nominees for this week. We got some pretty great nominees for you guys to vote upon. That poll will be out after the podcast for you guys to vote on. I like getting your guys' feedback as it continues all throughout the year. And then, like we did at the end of last year, we end up doing the bonehead of the year and driver of the year at the end of the year. So make sure you guys get your voices heard there. Also, go over point standings with F1 and the World Endurance Championship. And then, to round out this podcast, I will give you my NASCAR fantasy picks for this weekend at Talladega, as well as picks and predictions, favorites, and dark horses going into this weekend's Talladega weekend with the ARCA, Xfinity, and Cup Series. Man, I'm so excited. I got Dega on the brain. I got Dega brain, boys. Dega brain. Alrighty. Let's begin. I do have one talking point for news that I want to talk about, and this is something I expected to happen. I didn't expect it to happen as this soon, but amazing news. So, Homestead Miami Speedway will be the host of the 2026 championship weekend, where they should have been. I mean, I'd rather them at Homestead than Phoenix to begin with. Obviously, the mile and a halfs in the next gen era have been the best races, especially with the Xfinity cars. They've been amazing on any mile and a half. They've always been great. So I'm excited to see how that plays out for the Xfinity Series Championship. The Truck Series Championship is going to be great as well. Hopefully, it'll give us an opportunity to have a decent or a above average championship race in the Cup Series. I'm not really crossing my fingers or dotting my I's and crossing my T's there because I doubt that. I don't know. We'll see. We've had some good races at Homestead. Homestead and Darlington have probably been two of the best. Kansas, I'd throw in there. Some of the best racing we've seen in the next gen era. So, I we've talked about it multiple times on this channel, but my ideal thought on the NASCAR Championship weekend, we need to rotate it from city to city. Kansas, Vegas, Homestead, Phoenix, just bounce it around. Charlotte, even just bounce it around through all these big cities, these big markets for the championship weekend. Make each of these cities bid on it so they get it, like how they do with, like, I would say probably the Super Bowl. I think they do that with the Super Bowl where they bid the cities bid on the Super Bowl years in advance. I think that's how it should go moving forward after 2026 with Homestead. Open up the bidding process and see which cities are willing to invest to get the championship weekend at their track. And there's a lot of great options. Like I said, Vegas, Phoenix, Homestead, uh, shoot, Martinsville wouldn't be a great one, but there's big markets like Charlotte, like a lot of these big markets, Kansas City, Kansas, like there's a lot of big markets that we could definitely go to. But I'm excited. This is a very welcome change. I'm excited to see what the championship looks like in 2026. Obviously, I hate the format. We've talked about it in the past. But if we're going to have a one race winner take all type championship, we need to have a track that's a driver track like a Homestead, like a Darlington, like a Vegas, like now with the next gen car, like the Smile and a Halves. I think that's ideal for the sport going forward. So super exciting news. All right, let's start off with we'll do kind of the truck Xfinity kind of combo here because I kind of want to talk about the whole Rockingham weekend as a whole. So Friday the truck race, I didn't get to watch it live, but I did get to listen to it on the radio while I was working, so that was pretty awesome. Uh, the way I first off, props to the MRN broadcast, so the NASCAR Racing Network broadcast, because man, I wasn't watching the race, but I felt like I was watching the race. Like they did such a great job at breaking the race down. They went over all the strategies that were playing out. They covered all the wrecks well. They covered gaps throughout the field, comers and goers. I mean, you knew who had dominant trucks, who didn't, who was struggling and who wasn't. I mean, they did a fantastic job. Like the Fox broadcasts are god awful. I think the radio broadcast is better. Honestly, I'm in the future, I'm thinking about just putting the radio broadcast on while I'm watching the race and listen to the radio broadcast while I'm watching the race instead because the TV broadcasts are just terrible. And the experience I had on Friday night listening to this race on the radio was mint, and I enjoyed it. I mean, if you can't watch the race, which I love watching them, the next best thing is listening to it, and I was able to listen to it, and it was fantastic. Lane Riggs had an awesome race, man. He dominates both stages. I mean, he was by far, I would say, probably the best truck all day. I mean, he was just on rails, unbelievably quick. I think he had a great run this weekend. Unfortunately, it kind of got away from him at the end. This race turned into a fuel mileage race. We had a late race caution there when Rajah Caruth got sideways under Stuart Friesen. Ends up saving it, but collects Friesen. Friesen collects Matt Mills, and then I believe it was Tanner Gray as well. That was kind of the last caution of the race. And that was pretty early there in stage 3. We end up having a pretty long run to the green or to the checker there. A lot of guys could make it on fuel, couldn't make it on fuel. Some people were saving heavy on fuel, and Tyler Anker outbested them all. He ends up saving the most fuel, which was incredible because a lot of guys that were on his strategy had to pit. There's not many other things in racing that I enjoy more than a fuel race. I love fuel strategy racing, man. Like it, especially in a race like this where that run was so long that to win that race, Ankrum was saving early enough in that run, and then he was able to kind of stretch it out throughout the duration of the race, especially driving in a Chevy. We've never seen, well, we not that we never, but in the last, I don't know, decade, we haven't really seen Chevy really have the superiority on fuel. They had the superiority on fuel this weekend, man. It was impressive to watch Tyler Ankrum be able to stretch it to the end of the race on fuel in that Chevy. That was super impressive to watch. Great drive. I think it ends at what, a 6-year winless streak. I mean, unbelievable. I didn't think he was ever going to win again, to be honest with you. I've really never been high on Tyler Ankrum. Um, Kind of backed his way into one, but then again, I mean, what do we say all the time on the channel? Stats don't lie. Stats and facts don't lie. He's had the stats this year. I mean, I was looking at it after he won the race, and I went back and looked at some of the stats for this year, and by golly, he's had a lot of top fives. He's got a consistent running average finish, a consistent in race running position. Uh, it's incredible what that 18 team has been doing. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they won now, looking back on it in 2020 hindsight vision, but unbelievable race there for him. Great job by Jake Garcia. I got to give him a shout out. He'll end up being a nominee for driver of the week. P2 qualified on pole, controlled a lot of that early stage. It looked like he was kind of struggling with handling. Lane Riggs was able to eventually get by him, but like I said, Lane Riggs was the best truck. It was hard to kind of stay in front of him, but he maintained track position all day. He also was on a fuel strategy run at the end of that race, and he was able to make it to the end. So that was impressive. Uh, I think overall the Rockingham race was awesome for the Truck Series. I think they put on a good show. Yes, passing was tough, and I think it was Stuart Friesen, Grant Enfinger, and even Raja Kruth all mentioned it in their interviews at the end of the race that it's just these trucks have so much side force in them that it's just really impossible to be able to get to really manipulate the air and be able to make moves on people. And I think that's a big thing. Grant Enfinger even said he's like they asked him, "Do you think we should come back to Rockingham?" And he's like, "Yes, I would love to come back to Rockingham, but they never listen to me anyway because I've been telling them for years that we have too much side force on these trucks, and they just keep adding more." So it's like I think that's the biggest problem with trucks. I think we've noticed that with trucks a lot because the closing rates on mile and a halfs are just extremely high anyway. The trucks seem like they have a lot more stability in the corners. Uh, with the amount of side force, it seems like they do have a little bit more tire wear than they have in the past. Goodyear could probably bring a little softer tire, but that's another debate for a whole another day we could get into. But um, overall, I thought it was a great race. I mean, sure, it wasn't flashy like a lot of these casual you NASCAR entertainment racing nerd fans, newbies, whatever, like where you got freaking 18 cautions and 45 battles for the lead and 3 wide action the whole time. Yeah, we didn't really have that. We had some comers, we had some goers. Like I said, Lane Riggs, I mean, he was able to make moves. He was able to make moves to the front. Grant Enfinger kind of pulled a strategy move early in like stage 2, I believe it was, or at the beginning of stage 2. He was able to flip track position, kind of put him in good position there at the end. I mean, there was different things playing out. Um, I just thought it was a great race. I enjoyed it. I'll take a fuel mileage race like that 10 times out of 10 over any type of what we saw last weekend at Bristol in any of the series. I thought it was a great race. I'll touch more on Rockingham as a whole here in a minute. I want to get over the or go over the Xfinity race. Nick Sanchez on pole. Him and Dean Thompson end up winning the stages. I thought I'd throw that out there. We got to talk about this William Sawalich incident. A lot of people on the internet are blaming Catherine Legg and all over Catherine Legg for blah 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 blah, letting their misogyny or what did we get called there? The chauvinism is showing. Yeah, all over the internet. Honestly, I disagree with all you guys. I think this was 100% William Swalch's fault. I mean, this is the way I was raised or taught growing up racing at my local short tracks or even just visually watching it. The lap car doesn't have to move lanes for the leader. The lap car's goal is to consistently hold your line and your pace. If you're off pace, maintain your pace, maintain your line. It's the leader's responsibility to get by you clean and safely. The cars that are lapping you. William Sawalich absolutely sent it into, I think it was turn 3. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it was turn 3. Uh, no, it was turn 1. Excuse me. It was turn 1. Goes into turn 1. I just dropped frame rates and I am back. All right. So yeah, William Sawalich absolutely just sends it in there on the outside lane, right into the back of Catherine Legg, takes her out, damages his own race car, kind of ruins his own race, ends up collecting Casey Kane, poor bystander in this whole incident, which he got involved in a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. Just boneheaded move by William Sawalich. I mean, that was ridiculous. Anybody that sees it different than that, I don't know what you're smoking or what you're watching because Catherine Legg didn't change lanes. Watch the tape back. I rewinded it. I put it in slow motion. I rewatched it. She never changed lanes. She was right there in that same outside line the entire way from the beginning of the entry to the corner to the middle of the corner where she got taken out. She never changed lanes. She gave the bottom right to William Sawalich. And then on the broadcast, they were trying to throw shade at Catherine Legg and trying to deflect blame off of William Sawalich by saying, "Oh, Catherine Legg just needs to get out of the way. Like William Sawalich, you can't really do nothing because you got so much closing space." Dude, you saw what lane she was running like the last set of corners when you're coming through 3 and 4. How did you not know that she was going to do the same line? She was running the same line. Like, bonehead move of the week by William Sawalich. I can't remember exactly what Tom said. I'd have to pull up the text message, but he said it was like some type of show of clown or I don't even know. I'd have to pull it back up. I'd have to scroll through the group chat, but what he said was perfect, man. It was so funny. Just it was what do we say? Cinema. It was cinema. But yeah, that sucked for Casey Kane. Also, Sheldon Creedy ends up getting wrecked again out of no fault of his own. Judson Bonsignor just got loose on the bottom, got into him, took him out. So I did want to mention that. Uh, the real story of this race though is at the end, right? Ryan Sieg, way off strategy, way short on fuel. He inherits the lead late in the race after a pit sequence, and it looks like he's just gonna try and go and as fast as he can. He builds a massive gap over like Jesse Love, like a lot of the heavy hitters in the race, like Quapple, which he got stuck in traffic, was never to make it back up, which is unfortunate. And then Jesse Love, of course, was the best car all day, trying to trace his way back to the field. Finally got up to P2, and he really wasn't able to get by Sieg. He'd have looks to the inside. Sieg would fight back and maintain the lead. I mean, Sieg had a masterclass of a drive, trying to stretch on fuel. Really no hopes to even make it on fuel. There was really no chance, which was super unfortunate for him, for really everybody. I mean, me and Tom were like, if Sieg wins this race, I mean, it was going to be absolutely insanity. But just it was too good to be true. He ends up running out of gas late in that race. Um, all the cautions that kept happening. This race kind of turned into a wreck fest late. Waited for the truck race. Truck race was basically green to the end from that final stage after that freezing wreck. The Xfinity Series race was really clean for the first two stages. We had a few little incidents here and there, but for the most part, it was a clean race. And then we get to stage three, and it just turns into a little bit of mayhem. Uh, Overall, it was kind of wild. All those yellow flags allowed a lot of those guys to save gas. Like Eckes was one of those guys struggling on field. Even Jesse Love, I think, was saying he was a couple laps short of it. Like really, everybody was right on the edge of fuel marks. So every caution that came out was allowing him to save, which made it intriguing because you're sitting at the edge of your seat because you're like, what's gonna happen next? Are we gonna wreck again? Are we gonna have a long run? Or are these guys gonna run out of gas? And eventually boiled over where Sieg ran out of gas under yellow, lose it, had refired, didn't maintain pace car speed, loses position. So that fairy tale kind of ended there. And then Christian Eckes, like I mentioned, was running low on fuel. He ends up running out of gas on a late race restart. He collects half the field. I mean, major crash on the front straightaway. Justin Allgaier, I remember, was one. There was just too many cars to even count involved in that wreck. Reshuffled them back up again. Jesse Love gets a terrible restart on one of them, and then somehow rebounds on another one, gets by Sammy Smith for the win. Looks like he wins the race. Post-race tech inspection comes by, and boom, gets disqualified. Sammy Smith gets awarded the win. I know Jesse Love and that team is going to be appealing that disqualification. I don't know if they're going to win or not, but I think the most cinematic and comical thing I saw on the internet this weekend was a tweet by Jesse Love. I posted it in our Discord. I think it's absolutely hilarious because he has the trophy and he said, "Good thing my house has a safe." He ain't giving that trophy back. I mean, Jesse Love was the best car all day. I mean, you could make arguments Quapple was. You could make arguments Sieg was at his peak in that race before the fuel issue. There was a couple guys that were really good, and I think Love, maybe Quapple are probably the best two cars. So I felt like Love deserved that win. It was really up front all day. It really couldn't have controlled the race. Um, my thoughts though, I just I think the Xfinity race was basically quintessential NASCAR for like nostalgic old school fans. I mean, the track surface is new, so I didn't really expect a lot of tire wear. I felt like if I saw some, I'd be surprised. And we did see a little bit to an extent. I mean, more than I expected, not as much as I wanted, which is kind of the trend of our channel, kind of the trend of NASCAR nowadays. But overall, I think it was great racing. We saw great battles. I mean, it was hard to pass the leader. I mean, the thing is that outside line on restarts was bad, and it felt like it really never came in great. But like, if you were defending, you would go to the outside, and the guy on the inside, it was just struggling to get by you. It was like they get to the inside, maybe get a little loose, didn't have enough arc off the corner to be able to get the throttle down to be able to maintain or keep the momentum up down the straightaway to be able to make the pass into the next corner. I mean, that was good racing. That's what I like to see. I like to see not one lane being dominant over the other. You did see that to an extent. The inside line was better, but racing side by side, it wasn't like that. It was like you could make that outside work. I mean, you probably couldn't make it work for 30 laps side by side, but if you were trying to defend for 3 laps to try and maintain a lead, you could do it. You could do it. It was impressive to watch. You had everything in this race. Lots of lead changes. You had strategy. You had fuel mileage coming into play at the end. Lots of wrecks if you're that type of fan. You had a green white checker if you're that type of fan. The best car wins the race, which is good for NASCAR until they get disqualified, of course. Uh, I thought it was just a magical race. I enjoyed the entire race, the whole weekend, man. It was great. I love Rockingham. The stands were packed. I was listening to NASCAR Talk Radio, and a lot of people on there were talking about, hey, if we bring him back next year, I'm buying season tickets every year to come back for this Xfinity truck deal. I told Tom after the race, I said, this is a perfect weekend. If we could get trucks Xfinity doubleheader on Easter weekend every year at Rockingham, I'm here for it. Don't bring the cup cars there. I don't think the cup cars will put on a good show. Then once that happens, the freaking NASCAR fans are going to bitch and moan about Rockingham. Then it'll be gone from the schedule. But we can leave this weekend knowing Xfinity and trucks went. We had a great weekend between the two series. We bring them back again next year and the year after. Every year on Easter weekend would be absolutely a perfect tradition. Put the Xfinity series on Spotlight. Me and Tom have been saying it over and over and over again for the last year and a half that the Xfinity series is the premier stock car auto racing series in America, and it proved again this weekend that it really truly was. They cleaned up a lot of their non-respectful driving. This was mint Xfinity series racing, in my opinion. I thought the race played out interesting. The first two stages were fun to watch. I mean, we had great battles. You had at the beginning, you had Sanchez trying to hang on to the lead. You had Jesse Love fighting up there, and then you saw Quapple fighting up there. Brandon Jones was quick at one point. Uh, Connor Zilic qualifies pole, goes to the back, drives to the front, gets put to the back again, drives back. I mean, Connor Zilic had to have passed the most cars in this race. I mean, it was so much fun to watch. Ends up making a mistake late on one of those cautions, having his mistake. I do want to shout out my boy Parker Retzlaff. Me and Tom been so high on this guy this year. Um, he just proves it week in, week out. Qualified up front, ran up front, did lose track position at one point in the race, but he fought back and got his track position back, was able to contend late in that race, which was freaking awesome. I mean, he is an absolute Chad of a race car driver. He comes on P2. P2? I mean, dude, Parker Retzlaff's going to win a race this year, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your shorts. It's going to happen. He's going to win a damn race. He's unbelievable. I mean, I keep saying it every week. Like, I think he is probably one of the top 5 drivers in the Xfinity series on a long run. He is unbelievable. He can save tires. He's smart, methodical, he's patient, and he always finds a way to move forward by the end of a run. His takeoff speed's never there. We saw that during this entire race. It seems like that was the trend all year. Early in a run, those first few laps after restart, he just struggles a little bit to get going. I don't know if he likes his car with different air pressures, if he likes it to maybe free up over a run and he starts off a little tight. I don't know what it is. It could be vice versa, like start off a little loose and let it tighten up over a run. I don't know what it is, but there's something with the takeoff speed or the setup balance that he likes that doesn't maybe work with the short run speed. Maybe he's just not as good of a restarter yet. Maybe he doesn't have the experience up front at the front of the field as a lot of these other guys. Maybe that's where he struggles. But boy, God, once you get him into a long run, you get the tires warm and you get a little bit of balance change. I mean, that car is freaking fast. He is quick. Showed it all race long. And then at the end there, I think if that race had another 4 or 5 laps, I think he could have won that race. I mean, it was unbelievable. He was unbelievable, man. Just amazing job by him. Also, shout out to Brendan Poole. Again, another race where just attrition, and he just doesn't get involved in any incidences, doesn't put himself in any bad spots. They don't make mistakes on pit road, and clean race car. Then he ends up in another top 5. Brendan Poole with the P4. I mean, that's some great runs, man. Some really great runs. I feel bad for Carson Quapple. I felt like he had the second best car in this race. Once he lost that track position there towards the beginning of stage 3, really was not able to fight back through traffic, and that was unfortunate because I think him and Jesse Love, they were 1-2 at the end of that race, and it played out kind of heads up like we saw with the truck race at the end with the fuel mileage, or even if we didn't have fuel mileage and it just kind of went with a long green flag run. I think that battle between Love and Quapple would have been absolutely phenomenal. We just never got it. My biggest thoughts, I guess, on the whole Rockingham weekend, let's wrap this up here because um, it just needs to be said. I loved it. Like I said, I loved it. Easter weekend, Xfinity Truck Series weekend every year would be freaking fantastic. fantastic. This would be a race that I would put on my list to go to at least once in the next every couple years. Like I think it would be so much fun to go to it. It just looked like a good atmosphere. The crowds was packed. I heard that the food was pretty cheap. The transportation in there was pretty cheap. You didn't have to worry about parking because they got that little train that comes in and out, which was freaking genius. I don't know why more racetracks don't do that, especially Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I know when I went there one time, I waited like 45 minutes for an Uber, and then by the time we got the Uber, it took us like 40 minutes just to get out of the track back to our hotel. It was absolutely crazy. Uh, but having a train, I think you paid what? I think they said it was what, $15 one way, $28 round trip. 28 bucks for a round trip ticket to take you all the way back to Charlotte if that's where you're staying. That's incredible. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Not have to park your car. You could drink beer at the track and have a good time, have fun. You don't have to drive home. I mean, that's genius. I mean, and they did good. I'm excited. Like that's what I'm saying with the repave. The repave wasn't too bad. The racing was still good. It wasn't god awful. I'm excited to see when they come back, maybe next year, the year after, maybe 3-4 years down the road, and we start to get a little bit of wear and tear on that track because it's gonna happen. That track gets sandblasted a lot like Atlanta. It's near the coast. It's gonna be one of those tracks that's gonna get worn out faster than a lot of other typical racetracks. Um, I'm excited to see what the track does from there with the worn out surface. I think this track has potential to probably be one of the best tracks in NASCAR. It'll be right up there with Darlington, Old Atlanta, Chicagoland, Kansas. I mean, just name Auto Club at the end of its life. I mean, dang. I love Rockingham. I hope it stays. I think it was a big success. I enjoyed the races, and I got to do it in two different perspectives. I got to listen to the truck race, and I got to watch the Xfinity race. So I got to listen to it with a good broadcast, with a perspective, and I had every visual I needed from just the way they were explaining it, which was amazing. And then I got to watch it the next day on Saturday and watch the race in its entirety, and that was just I think that's cool, man. I might do that more often. Try to listen to one race and then watch the other, which I'll probably just do listen to the truck races and watch the Xfinity races because, man, listening to it, I haven't done that in a long time. And this weekend, it was just a breath of fresh air, man. It was fun, and they did a great job explaining it. So, um, A plus to Rockingham. I loved it. No beef. Great broadcast by CW. Great job by the MRN guys. A great atmosphere. Great crowd. Great experience. Uh, Great weekend for this to be a thing. Great racing. Thrilling racing. Um, I guess my only complaint about the entire weekend would be that Jesse Love disqualification. I hope they win that appeal. I really do. I hope they do because he was the best car and he deserved to win. So, um, I'll that'll wrap it up for the Cup Series here or the NASCAR Series at Rockingham this weekend. All right, let's move on to F2. I just want to talk about Versure. Kind of dominated the weekend. He won the feature race, almost won the sprint race. Gets an avoidable contact penalty late in that race on a late race restart off their safety car and ends up handing the win over to Lindblad, which is super unfortunate. But Versure is your championship leader in F2, and we'll keep tabs on that as the season continues. We're still early in the season there. We had one race get canceled. Um, so, yeah, for sure, leading the world championship in Formula 2. All right, I'm going to talk about the World Endurance Championship here. This is where I got to get on my soapbox. We got a little bit of complaining and bitching to do. I guess we'll start with the soapbox. I mean, honestly, I don't know where else to start here. So, my biggest gripe is I got Max. I bought it a year ago. I've been paying the monthly subscription for the last year. It's $9 a month. I don't really use it. I use it once a month to watch the World Endurance Championship races. Every once in a while, I'll turn it on if I'm laying in bed and need to watch a movie to fall asleep to. Whatever, I'll throw on a movie every once in a while, right? So I'm getting barely any use out of it, but I'm paying $10 a month. I'm like, I'll since they're promoting the World Endurance Championship and putting it on their platform, I'll eat the $10. I even kept it going during the off season. I love the World Endurance Championship. I love sports car racing that much. Max is supporting it. I felt like I would support him and just pay for it through the off season. Pay my $10 a month to watch the race. It's a good deal. To me, it's a great deal because I love World Endurance Championship. They're 6 to 24-hour races all year long, once a month. So it's worth it to me. Well, I got done with work at 3 a.m. Come home, take about went for a run early in the morning, went to bed probably by 4 in the morning, set my alarm for 7 a.m. so I could watch the World Endurance Championship. I got like 2.5 hours of sleep. Turn the race on, or turn Max on, and guess what? My subscription no longer has availability to the race. No, 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 no. I started freaking out and panicking. I closed the app, restarted the app. I went in and made sure all my stuff was paid for. Went and checked my bank statements, went and checked my account, made sure everything was paid. It was paid. I was like, all right, we're good to go. Turn it back on. I missed the start of the race, but I'm like, cool, we're going to just get in it and we're going to catch back up right here. Click back in. No, your subscription doesn't cover this package. Then I'm really pissed off. So I'm trying to figure this out. I go into the account settings. Now, to be able to watch the World Endurance Championship races, to be able to watch any live sports on Max, now you have to buy a bonus subscription of $17 a month. That's where I draw the line. I can do $10 a month. I pay no damn $17 a month to watch a freaking one race a month. Once a month to use this for service. I'm not paying. That's freaking highway robbery right there. What? I don't even get snacks with that deal. I don't even get a cold beer with that deal. I'm paying $17 a month to watch one race a month. You talk about piss me off with no sleep in the early morning, trying to watch the race I've been looking forward to for the last 3 freaking weeks, to find out that I can't even watch the damn race. So I didn't get to watch the race. Still haven't watched the race. I'm still debating on whether it's worth it to pay the damn $17 a month. I'm going to do it for Le Mans. 100% guaranteed. I can't miss Le Mans. I'll do the 17 for Le Mans. For me, $17 to watch a 24-hour race, worth it to me. Just like every year, I pay $50 a month from January to February to get the Chili Bowl and all the winter stuff that's going on during the off season. That I can justify that. I'll justify 17 for Le Mans, but I can't justify paying $17 a month for one race a year. I mean, and especially when they're all in Europe and I got to wake up at early in the morning to watch it, it's really tough for me to do that anyway, but I'm that dedicated and motivated to do it because I love watching it. But then you're going to turn around and make live sports an extra package? Why? Can't I just have the sports package or put it on YouTube TV? I got YouTube TV. Put it on there. Just so pissed off. It just irritates. So I canceled my subscription with Max. I'm angry. I want to call support and go bitch because that's what I do when I'm that frustrated. That's the kind of thing I'll do. We got to spite. But why? Why did that happen? And why did I not get a notification? I checked my email. They never sent me an email saying, well, by the way, your package no longer covers live sports. So the last month and a half, I paid. They haven't raced in 2 freaking months since the last race at Qatar. So I paid 2 months to keep the subscription and got nothing out of it. Bullshit, man. Piss me off real quick there, World Endurance Championship. So, when it comes to World Endurance Championship, I only was able to catch the highlights they threw up on YouTube at the certain time period marks. Still mad about it. I had to scroll freaking Twitter and read about all the great battles and all the cool stuff happening. Saw lots of different wrecks, like the Iron Dames had some incident there. The BMW ended up running over somebody at one point. And then our next bonehead of the week, and I hate to do this, but we're not a biased channel. We don't hold punches. We don't play favoritism. We call it as we see it. We put judgment where judgment is needed. And my boy Valentino Rossi. Huge Valentino Rossi fan. I think me and Tom went on a freaking 15-minute rant last week talking about Valentino Rossi. Qualifies on pole in LMGT3. And then battling for the lead with the AF Corse of Ferrari late in the race. I think there's like maybe an hour, 45, 2 hours to go. Ends up dumping the Ferrari. Ends up getting a huge penalty. Cost them the win. And it's a bonehead of the week. I know it's like the first time that he's really done anything stupid behind the wheel. So I'm going to cut him some slack. I'm going to chalk it up to Bonehead of the Week. We'll see if you guys vote on it or not. I had to put it on there just because it pains me. I'm a huge Valentino Rossi fan. I say it all the time, man. Huge Valentino Rossi fan. And to see what happened this weekend just absolutely devastates me, man. I can't believe that happened. So, Ferrari. Let's talk about Ferrari. Ferrari wins Hypercar. BMW had a good run going. I think they finished P2. Ferrari's unbelievable, guys. I mean, we talk about Porsche and IMSA and how just dominant they are. It's Ferrari's that in the World Endurance Championship. Ferrari is unbelievable right now. I mean, they are currently 1, 2, 3 in the drivers' championship. They're number 1 in the constructors' championship race right now. It that car is unbelievable. I don't think there's a track that has there is a track on the circuit that's a weakness for this team. I honestly, this could be a bold prediction, but I could see Porsche winning every IMSA race, and I could see Ferrari winning every World Endurance Championship race this year. And I don't think that's a hot take. I legitimately think that this Ferrari is so good. They're good. All their drivers are amazing talents. I mean, there's not a weak link than any of the 3 teams, whether it's the 2 works teams or the customer purchase team. There's no weaknesses in any of their driver lineups. They're unbelievable. Number 2, their car is just insanely fast on straight line speed. They are the fastest car. I mean, and they've got one of the worst BOPs with straight line speed too. If you look at the BOPs, they shouldn't be as fast as they are. It's unbelievable. They've got incredible downforce. They're great with tire management. They're great on fuel save and energy save. They are able to build a gap, maintain it because their drivers are so good, and then allows them to fuel save and tire save. If they have to fight through traffic, they're able to do it. I mean, it's unbelievable, man. I am so excited for Le Mans this year because I feel like Porsche is going to be saving their good stuff for the end of the year. I think we haven't seen the best out of Jody yet. BMW is getting faster. We're seeing it on both IMSA and World Endurance Championship stage. And then obviously Ferrari. Toyota with their BLPs, that's just a wild card at this point. And then all the other manufacturers, there's no really point of talking about it. I think it's going to come down to Ferrari, Cadillac, BMW, and Porsche when it comes to Le Mans this year. I think it's going to be an absolute thrilling race. I mean, it's going to be one of those must-see, must-watch duration of the race because I think it's going to come down to the absolute bitter end. But right now, man, these other teams, they've got to do some work. I know we're going to get a little bit of BOP change. We get it race to race. We'll see what they do with the Ferrari. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind dominance. And like I felt the same way about Toyota. I don't want to see the World Endurance Championship and FIA get overreact like they did with Toyota. When Toyota a couple years ago was dominating World Endurance Championship, winning all those races, what did the FIA do? They went out and just absolutely BOP'd that car to the ground. Basically lit that fucker on fire and threw it in a dumpster. I do not want to see the FIA and the World Endurance Championship do that to Ferrari. I want to see these other teams get faster. Maybe reduce their BOPs a little bit, but don't fuck with the damn Ferrari's BOPs just so everybody else can beat them. Toyota still hasn't recovered. They haven't recovered. They have the oldest chassis. You BOP them, so they're already disadvantaged because they're an older chassis, older engine or drivetrain, older suspension. Everything's older. It's an older setup than what Ferrari and Porsche have. So you already are disadvantaged there. They had already had a leg up in competition. That's why they're so dominant, because they had the leg up and the more development time and the more experience running the car. But then when everybody else caught up to them, then they BOP'd them. I don't want to see that happen to Ferrari. I want people to actually legitimately go beat them. That's what I like about racing. You're only the best if you beat the best. You're not the best when the best gets screwed and you become the best by default. You're not the best. You just inherited being the best because the best team is no longer the best because they got handcuffed. I wouldn't want to win a race like that. I would never want to win a race I wouldn't want to win a race by wrecking somebody. I wouldn't want to win a race by getting it handed to me through a disqualification. I wouldn't want to win a race because the best guys didn't show up that weekend. I don't want to win a race like that. I want to win a race by beating the best. And I feel like a lot of the teams in motorsports feel the same way. And when you BOP teams to the ground, it just ruins the sport for me. And that just ruins the racing purist in my heart. So I hope that doesn't happen. Also, we got to mention Porsche number 92, Manthey Motorsports. They end up winning the LMGT3 class. Again, basically by default with the Valentino Rossi bonehead of the move for the week. Ferrari and BMW were probably the two best teams in the race, and they both kind of took themselves out. One with the penalty for wrecking the other. I mean, it just is what it is. It looked like a fun race. It looked like everybody on the internet was having a great time watching it, while I was fuming in my bed, pissed off. Fortunate for me, though, I was able to get another hour of sleep after all that fiasco, wake back up, and watch the Formula One Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, which is our next race to cover here tonight, our final race to cover here tonight. Man, Lando Norris, we got to talk about him first. Ends up wrecking in qualifying Q3, starts in P10. He had his work cut out for him. Piastri qualified P2, Verstappen P1. The major controversy of this race, though, turn one, lap one, off the start. Piastri gets a better jump than Verstappen, which is crazy to think about because Verstappen's one of the best restarters in the game. Gets outgamed by Piastri. Just got beat by the light, man. Piastri beats him into the apex into turn one. Verstappen drives it in a lot further, runs off track, and then claims that he got forced off. Um, Tom mentioned it. We've seen an instance like this with Lewis Hamilton a few years ago, and they never gave him a penalty for it. But then in this situation, they give one to Verstappen. There's that meme running around the internet where it's like SpongeBob and it had two cars, and it was like uh, who the FIA love, and it's all British flagged, and then who the FIA hate, and it's all the other countries. Which I thought was freaking hilarious. But yeah, they ended up giving Verstappen a 5-second time penalty. At this point, he was basically only in a position where he could either pit early, try to undercut, put the hard tires on, but get stuck in traffic, so it probably wouldn't have worked out. And then his other option was run long, try to build as much of a gap as he could, while Piastri did the undercut, and hopefully be able to cycle back in front of him, or at least be close enough behind him where he could get back to lead. Never worked out for him. And once Verstappen lost the lead to the McLaren, he was never going to get it back anyway. The McLarens are just too good. Piastri goes on to win the race. Fantastic drive by Piastri. He is now your new world championship leader. Lando Norris did get back up to P4. Leclerc was really fast at the end of this race, which was surprising. He ended up having some of the faster laps towards the end of the race. Ferrari had some speed. Tom called it, man. I think Tom came on the podcast last week and said, watch out for Leclerc this weekend. I said, watch out for Piastri because I took the low-hanging fruit because I think Piastri just is on that level right now. Fruition came to true, but Tom came out and said, watch out for Leclerc. I was kind of doubting it, but Ferrari was good, man. Ferrari was good. I saw a lot of progress this weekend with Ferrari, especially with Leclerc. Leclerc is definitely he's an incredible driver, man. He was able to get a good performance. Verstappen, like I said, P2. We got to talk about that lap one incident. We talked about it all offseason. I think we bragged about it multiple times. Pierre Gasly went through an entire 2024 F1 season without any contact, any damage, any part failures. He went through the entire season without costing his team and even a nickel in any repair work or damages or anything in 2024. Starts the season off with no damage, no repair work. So he's on like a 25 race streak of no crashing at all in any practice section, test session, qualifying session, races, sprint races. It doesn't matter. It doesn't crash. Lap one, turn one, Yuki Tsunoda. Absolutely just TKOs him, man. Sends it in there. Missed the apex bad. Basically was never going to make the corner. Unfortunate for Pierre Gasly. He was the victim. He gets put in the wall. Both cars DNF'd. It's the end of streak, man. That was a good one. Let's give a round of applause for Pierre Gasly, man. 20 something races. I think it's 25 races, I think is the streak. Maybe more because, I mean, look back at 2023, how many races towards the end of the season. I mean, it's well over 20 races now that he has not had any damage, and it comes to an end on that fateful Sunday morning. So that's unfortunate. I will be nominating Yuki Tsunoda for a Bonehead of the Week this week. I do got to shout out the Williams. I knew where I was going with that. I just had my brain kind of froze there for a split second. Like I said, I got Dega brain, boys. I got Dega brain. We're getting close. But I do got to shout out the Williams. The Williams had a fantastic run at the end of that race. Looked like Hadjar was going to score some decent points in this race. It looked like he was probably going to finish in that probably 8th. I don't think he was going to be able to get by the top teams up at the top of the grid, but 8th place looked like a legit spot for Hadjar. Williams qualified right there with him. They end up doing a weird strategy. They had two different strategies with Signs and Albon. Signs was kind of bleeding time, and Williams did a smart call, and they said, "Hey, Albon, I want you to get behind Signs. I want you both to get a toe off of each other, and I want you guys to try and leg Hajar." They were able to maintain it for the rest of the race, man. Shout out to Signs for being an ultimate team player, backing up to Albon and allowing Albon to get that slipstream and that DRS to be able to maintain that lead to Hajar to gain the 8th and ninth positions for points. Big time for Williams. I think Williams is off to a great start this year, guys. They're right now. I think they're the fifth manufacturer in the constructor standings. They're doing a fantastic job. Haas is right there with them. Haas, like I said, Haas is hard to predict. One week they're freaking whoa, holy shit, they're freaking amazing. The next week there's like, oh, holy shit, they're driving dump trucks. What the fuck? It's like, what's going on? But Williams has just been good everywhere, man. I got to shout out Carlos Sainz. I'm going to nominate him as the driver of the week this week because for the sole fact of being a great team player, great qualifying session, and this is his best performance of the year. We have not seen Carlos Sainz have a good run this year. It really started rough, especially there in Australia during the rain scenario. They're bringing out that safety car wreck in there. Ever since then, it kind of went downhill. And me and Tom come on here and said we think that Carlos Sainz is one of the top 5 drivers in F1. He's a great freaking race car driver, man. He is amazing. And he's just not had the year up to this point, and he absolutely pulled out some magic out of the hat this weekend. Pulled some Carlos Sainz stuff, so congratulations to him this weekend. I'll go over drivers and constructor standings. Constructors, Ferrari or McLaren's way ahead of Mercedes and Red Bull, so there's not much to talk about there. And for driver standings, right now, Piastri is 10 points over Lando. Can't go Lando. And then he is 12 points over Max Verstappen. So, interesting driver championship. Like me and Tom have been saying, though, I don't think Piastri is going to win this world championship. They're not going to let him. If it comes down to the nitty gritty at the end of the year and him and Lando are pretty close in points, they're going to hand it over to Lando. The only thing Piastri can do to try to win this is hopefully he could just keep out qualifying Norris and pray that the team orders don't come in or just start resisting them. Fuck him. That's what I'd say. Fuck him. But then again, he's getting paid a lot of money to be in that seat, getting paid a lot of money to listen to what the hell they say. So it's unfortunate. But right now, as it sits before we go into this 1 week break in between races, he is your current world championship leader. Alrighty. That'll recap this weekend's races. Fun weekend of racing. Still pissed off about the World Endurance Championship fiasco. Enjoyed the Rockingham weekend, like I said, and then another great F1 weekend, man. F1's been absolutely amazing this year. I think F1 has given IndyCar and IMSA and World Endurance Championship a run for its money this year. I think it is. I think it could be some of the best racing on. I don't know, man. IMSA right now, I think it's still number 1, but it's competing with IndyCar this year. Formula One is. It's been great. Alrighty. Now, we're going to preview the races this weekend. It is Dega week. I've said it probably 8 times on this podcast. I'm going to say it again. But Saturday, doubleheader, ARCA, Xfinity, and then Cup Series on Sunday. Notable entries, I got to talk about it. Staropoli, the doctor, he'll be in the Venerini number 15 machine. William Swalich will be in the number 18 for JGR this weekend. Spencer Gallagher is back. Imagine that. He's back in this weekend in the number 23. Unbelievable. I think his only career win was at Talladega, and then he got busted for smoking pot. So let's see if he can repeat that here in 2025. And then also in the number 30 machine, making his return to the ARCA series, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Yeetus McFarlane. Super excited to see what he can do this weekend behind that number 30 machine. Xfinity, we got Eric Almirola in the 19 JGR. Jeffrey Earnhardt is returning with Sam Hunt Racing in the 24 this weekend. Jake Garcia, I'm not sure if this is his first career Xfinity start, but it's got to be one of the few that he's had if it isn't. He'll be running for Ryan Sieg Racing this weekend, the 29. Catherine Legg back with Jordan Anderson Racing. Also Austin Green with Jordan Anderson Racing in the 87. And then Jesse Iwuji is returning back, man. It's awesome to see him. I know Jesse Iwuji from way back, the Patriot Motorsports days when he ran the Idaho 208. Got to meet him there and kind of worked with him and worked for him there for a weekend. That was fun. He's a cool dude, man. He's a cool dude. So I'll be pulling for him this weekend with DGM. Also, in the Cup Series, we got JJ Yaley in the number 44 NY Racing Machine. Anthony Alfredo in the number 62 Beard Motorsports machine, and then BJ McLeod with Live Fast in the number 78. Old BJ gonna make another run at a super speedway. Alrighty, let's make our predictions this weekend on Saturday, the first race of the doubleheader, the ARCA Series, the General Tire 200, the race of all races of the weekend. It could be like Daytona, it could be an absolute wreck fest, just destructive, tragic race. It could be like it was the last couple of years, where the leaders, the top 4 or 5, kind of check out and just break away from the field, and the race kind of runs green all the way through. Um, I don't know what we're gonna get. I really don't. I can't predict it. ARCA series at a Super Speedway, you can never predict it. All you can do is crack open a cold one and enjoy it, especially when you're at Dega. Have a few beers and relax and watch the freaking mayhem. Uh, William Swalich, I think, wins this race. Purely just because he's got the most experience and he's got the best car. I mean, it's gonna be hard to beat William Swalich this weekend. Those Venerini cars, they've got good cars, not a lot of experience. Um, I think it's good, and especially if they get linked up behind him, they're not really going to want to make moves to pass him. Especially a lot of those guys running for points championship. There's no really reason to wreck your race car or put yourself in bad situations. But I've been wrong before. It's ARCA, but I'm going to go with kind of the safe pick here, the safe bet. I'm going to go William Swalich here in the number 18 machine this weekend. My dark horse. Oh boy, he's going to be flying like a bald eagle. He's going to be doing it for Dale. He's going to be sleeveless. He's going to be eating. He's going to be McCletus, and he's going to be doing everything possible to put that thing in the front. I normally take Andy Jesus. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to be pulling for Andy Jesus. I love Andy Jesus. I'm going to pull for him to the end. But this is the new kid on the block. This dude's an absolute freaking beast. Let's put this in perspective. This man, I watched the video today. This man, him, Greg Biffle, and all their buddies end up putting together, or went and found 3 freaking beater RVs. They took them back, fixed them up enough to run with generators. They're sleeping in the RVs. They're road tripping to Dega. They're sleeping in the RVs, racing on Saturday and driving them back the next day. I mean, dude, that is the coolest damn story, dude. I'm so here for it. I'm pulling for Yetis McCletus this weekend. I think he can get the job done in that ARCA Series machine this weekend. All right, and then when it comes to the Xfinity Series on Saturday, this will be the Ag Pro 300. My pick, I'm going with Jesse Love. He won at Daytona. He's definitely probably one of the top 3 plate racers in the Xfinity Series at this time. I think this race is going to have a lot of mayhem and carnage. If the ARCA race is clean, that means the Xfinity race is going to be a carnage and wreckfest race. Maybe it'll be vice versa. Maybe the ARCA race will be the wreckfest race, and then we'll see some clean Xfinity racing. I feel like one of those 2 races is going to be a wreckfest. We'll see which one it is. But Jesse Love, man. I know everybody's going to probably want to think Austin Hill. He's kind of the low-hanging fruit this weekend. But I'm going to go with this teammate, Jesse Love. I think Jesse Love gets the job done this weekend. I think he wins this race. And I think he's going to prove that he's one of the best plate racers in the Speedway. The Chevys have been quick. I think it's going to come down to a little bit of fuel mileage at the end. Maybe we don't get some late race cautions. I'm kind of just banking on maybe this race being a clean race, to be honest. Maybe a wreck. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of banking on it being a clean race. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'll take Jesse Love. I think he's a great pick. He won Talladega last year. Was his first career win. I think he could back it up this weekend. Won at Daytona earlier this year. So we'll see how that all plays out. My dark horse, I'm going with Ryan Sieg. Ryan Sieg is on an absolute tear this year. I mean, it seems like every week he's in contention to win a race or at least put himself in the front of the field. We said earlier in this year, if he didn't have all those bad qualifying efforts or those bad luck with car failures or having cars kind of break down or having bad track position, you thought maybe that he was going to be able to, maybe if he started closer to the front, he could win some races. Finally, he's kind of figured out some of that qualifying issues, come to the qualifying struggle, start up front, and look at some of the results we saw. I mean, he could have won Rockingham. He was in position to win Rockingham this weekend if the field mileage would have played out. So, with that being said, I'm going to take Ryan Sieg as my dark horse. I think Ryan Sieg is going to be a legit contender this weekend. I'm going to be pulling for the Ryan Sieg. I want to see him win so bad, and I think it would be nothing cooler than to be at Talladega watching Ryan Sieg win his first career race. Watch out for Ryan Sieg this weekend. Great dark horse pick. Another great dark horse pick. I just want to throw it out here because I think this dude's an absolute Chad. Watch out for Parker Retzlaff. Watch out for Parker Retzlaff, man. This dude is a beast. Him and Anthony Alfredo, I think both of those guys will be legit contenders at the end of this race. I think when it was all, and even Brennan Poole. Watch out for Brennan Poole. I think at the end of this race, if this race turns into a carnage race and those 3 guys are really good at managing their stuff and not getting involved in incidences, I could see them definitely being contenders late in this race. All right. Then when it comes to the Cup Series race, we got the Jack Links 500 on Sunday. This is going to be fun. On Saturday at Talladega, we plan on doing a podcast, episode 120, live from Talladega. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tom will be there. Maybe we'll have some other people jump in on the podcast. We're going to try to do a live podcast during qualifying on Saturday for the Cup Series race. Try to go through try to talk about all the things going on. Maybe chat about Talladega, have a good time. It'll be fun. Maybe have a brewski with the boys while we're sitting there hanging out on Saturday watching qualifying. So make sure you guys tune into that. Scheduled that for around 10:30 Eastern time, I think is when qualifying starts. So that's when it's scheduled. Uh, Crossing our fingers, all technology works. All of our equipment's good to go. We don't have any issues, and we're able to make that live stream happen for you guys. That is the plan. That is the goal. All right. When it comes to the Cup race on Sunday, this is going to be basically how every other plate race is ran. I hope it plays out a lot like Daytona 500 did this year, not like it has the last few plate races in the Cup Series because they've been a lot of snoozers. They've been, I mean, from the visual aspect, it looks cool because they're three wide, fuel saving the whole time. I hope we don't really get that this race. I hope that we get more of a Daytona 500. I want to see those boys racing, man. I want to see them mixing up for the lead. I want to see 50 freaking lead changes. I want to see all these different people cycle to the front. I mean, obviously, stage racing kind of ruins it. We'll see how strategy plays out with that and fuel saving and whatnot because they're gonna do it regardless. I just hope they don't do it as much. But that's just wishful thinking. It's gonna be a fuel save race with gridlock basically throughout the field. So don't expect much. But with that being said, who's the best plate racers or the best team in plate racing right now? That's the Penske Fords, man. They're just unbelievable. Any of the Fords, to be honest with you, are just amazing. But specifically those Penske Fords, if they get up front and they're able to control this race, and if they can master the fuel strategy and be able to put themselves in position late in that race, if they're up in the top 5, 6 at the end of the race, and then they get control of it, it's basically lights out, ladies and gentlemen. Unless we get a bunch of chaos and a lot of late race wrecks, or we get some hung money wrecking Cindric like he did at Atlanta type stuff. We'll see how that plays out. But I'm gonna take Ryan Blaney this weekend. That car, he's been the best car all year. I don't care what anybody says. Ryan Blaney has been the best team all year. The only downside has been their pit stops and then their reliability. They've had engine issues, they've had tire issues, they've had pit road issues. Other than that, they've been the best team all year. I think looking at the stats, he's got the most passes under green this year. He's got the most gained track position throughout a race this year. He's had the best average net speed in every race this year, basically. Right, that team is unbelievable. It's just a matter of time before they win. And if it's going to happen, I think this weekend's perfect. He's a multi-time Talladega winner. Ryan Blaney wins this weekend in the Cup Series. My dark horse, I'm going to go a little off the beaten path here. Had a great run last year. Got turned on the tri-oval coming to the checker last year at Talladega. He's a really good plate racer. He's in the Chevy. Spire's been good with one car. I mean, host of cars of ours, but carry the team. We haven't really seen much out of Justin Haley and Michael McDowell this year. I think if those Spire cars get linked up, I mean, there's a lot of Chevys. They're going to be playing teamwork. Maybe McDowell is able to get himself in the front of that line of the Chevys, and maybe he's able to put himself in a position to win this race late. I like Michael McDowell as a dark horse this weekend. I really do. I also like the RFK Fords. I mean, the Fords are fast. Watch out for Priest. Let's pray right now for Ryan Priest's health and safety this weekend. Let's hope that he doesn't go airborne and die this weekend because that seems to be a trend in the NASCAR Cup Series. So let's make sure Ryan Priest is good. Everybody send your thoughts and prayers. Hashtag Ryan Priest if you're still watching. And then, yeah, so I'll take Michael McDowell. I do also like Busher, Keselowski. Keselowski was in the picture frame there last year coming to the checker when you turned McDowell. So watch out for the Penske Fords, and then also watch out for the RFK Fords. And then for fantasy picks, I'm going to take McDowell. Like I said, I think he's a great dark horse pick. I'm going to take Bubba Wallace. I think that he's going to be up front all race long as well. He'll probably be one of the lead Toyotas in this race with Denny Hamlin. I'm going to take Cindric and Logano. I haven't used them a lot, and I think the Penske Fords, like I said, are going to be good. I didn't put Blaney because I picked him on every freaking race, it feels like, this year. Running out of uses with him, and if honestly luck and everything would have worked out, I would have been freaking nailing this fantasy this year. It just kind of bit me in the butt with Blaney every week having those issues. But I'll take his two teammates. I think they're going to be up front controlling the race. I'm going to take Keselowski. I think Keselowski, like I said, watch out for RFK. I think they're going to be good this year. I'm staying away from Priest because of past history, as I mentioned. And I'm going to stay away from Buescher this weekend as well. All right. Matchups. We got some decent matchups. We got Cindric and Bowman. I'm gonna take Cindric over Bowman. I mean, I feel like that's a no-brainer. Those Penske Fords are too good. We got Chastain and Hung Money. Obviously, I'm not taking Hung Money. I'm gonna take Chastain in that matchup. I think he's gonna have a better performance. Logano and KFB. I'm gonna take Logano here, man. I like I said, those Penske Fords would be unbelievable this weekend. And the next one is a weird matchup. I don't understand this one at all, but we got Gregson and Austin Dillon. I'm gonna take Gregson this weekend. Like I said, I think the Fords are going to be good, and I think Gregson's going to be one of them. He's had a lot of pace this year. He's had some really good runs. I think Talladega is a good place to have a good run, man. So we'll see. Alrighty. That would be it. That would be the preview for this weekend's races as well as fantasy picks. That will wrap up this podcast. Kept it nice and short here for you guys here tonight. Kept it about an hour, and yeah, got Dega on the brain. Excited to go to Dega. If you guys, like I said, if you guys are going to Dega, we'll be in the Geico Blue section off of turn 2. Come over, come say hi. Come give us a wave, whatever. Come interact, come talk to us, come have a beer with us, whatever it may be. We're welcoming. We're always a good time, fun. Rowdy. We're gonna have a great time. We'll just have a blast. We got a lot of people coming this year. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Come see me and Tom this weekend. Come see the gang over at Talladega. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully you guys are going. If you guys are going, have fun as well. And also stay tuned because we're gonna have that podcast. Hopefully, if everything works out on Saturday during qualifying at 10:30 Eastern time in the morning. Make sure you guys are tuned in. Also, when we get back from Dega on Tuesday, we'll have another podcast. We'll recap all of Talladega's races next Tuesday for you guys right here on this channel. That'll be episode 121. Make sure you guys turn on the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, stay up to date with everything happening at this channel. Make sure you guys go follow us on all of our social media platforms, which I, for some reason, didn't have those on during the podcast. That was cool. But all of them are on the bottom of the screen now for you guys to go follow. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. Stay updated with everything happening on the channel. Also, all the links are in the description to this podcast down below. Go click those links and go follow us on all of our social media platforms. Stay up to date. Some cool stuff may be coming to our Patreon after this weekend. So stay tuned. If you go subscribe on our Patreon, all those proceeds continue to help us make bigger and better content for you guys here on YouTube. Also, if you guys want to join the best racing community on the internet, come join our Discord. We post all the racing motorsports news from around the world, every series across the planet, all the drama, rumor, memes, everything, all the funny stuff we find on X or stuff we create ourselves. We post it right here on our Discord. Got all kinds of all of you guys in here interacting on our Discord. It's a lot of fun. Make sure if you guys enjoyed it, post your own news, interact with everybody else, hang out. We got community chats for you guys to pop in, and we jump in there every once in a while. We'll come chat with you guys. It's a fun time. It's a great community. Post your own news, your own memes, your own rumors, drama, whatever it may be. It's fun. Send us pictures of your iRacing rigs if that's what you're into. I mean, your real life racing stuff, whatever it may be. Just come join the most awesome, the best motorsports platform on the internet. All right, guys. Oh, one more thing. Go check out our merch store. Go buy you some Dega Boys swag. We got some Big Daddy IMSA like I'm wearing right now. We got some Big Daddy NASCAR, some Big Daddy Dega Boys, all kinds of funny meme shirts on there as well with a lot of different drivers and a lot of different sayings that we've had around this channel over the years. So, again, all those proceeds go to help us make bigger and better content for you guys here on YouTube. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here on Tuesday, watching this podcast. A lot of great talking points. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the races this last weekend as much as I did, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this weekend's races at Old Talladega. Excuse me. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will catch y'all in the next one.